How you doing, everybody? Icy here. Let's do a little quick one here. Hunter Biden and the cocaine mystery at the West Wing of the White House. Well, everybody knows that the White House is supposed to be impenetrable by anyone. Everyone also knows that to get through certain parts of the White House, you have to go past drug-sniffing dogs. What happened to the canine handler and the canine that is supposed to be stationed there to prevent people from bringing drugs into the White House? No one answers that question. Kind of makes me think that the Democrats have placed people into positions of power, but also people into positions of security to ensure that they can continue to function the way they do. I say this because look what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. He was in a jail cell with cameras pointed towards the jail cell with two police officers less than 100 feet from the jail cell, but yet he hangs himself, and he hangs himself with less than 2 feet from the floor. And the camera was angled differently, and the guards that are supposed to be there weren't there at the time that he supposedly committed suicide. So, stands to reason somebody's covering some shit up, and the only people that really have anything to hide recently have been Democrats. And the only reason I say that is the Democrats are going out of their way to attack Republicans. Not just Republicans, but conservatives in general. That Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, she's sitting there spewing a whole bunch of nonsense, talking about, what was it, the Hatch Act? If you don't know what you're talking about, don't run your mouth. You sound foolish. And you know for a fact that something's going on in regards to Hunter and the Biden family. The man got kicked out of the Navy for cocaine. The man was just recently filmed by himself smoking crack while he was driving a car over 100 miles an hour. So, put two and two together, or did you fail math, people? Yeah. Okay, now let's see. What else is going on? We got Janice Yellen kowtowing to the Chinese. We already talked about that the other day. You don't bow to anyone in China. You're, number one, you're an American. Number two, bowing to someone means that that person is superior to you and you are subservient to them. By a U.S. official bowing to a Chinese official, that U.S. official is basically telling the entire world that the United States is now subservient to China. In a nutshell, these people are burying us. And it's all started in 2008 when Obama was bowing to the Muslim big shots over in the Middle East. You don't bow. You represent the United States. You don't bow. That's common sense. Let's see what else is going on. Well, we got all this massive flooding going on, but I'm up near Buffalo, so I'm not going to worry about it. Besides that, we get snow, not rain. And let's see what else we got going on. Really not much. You know, it's bad enough that I live in New York, and I got to deal with an 8-to-1 ratio of Democrats to Republicans from Westchester County right on out to Montauk Point, which is at the tip of Long Island. You take the population of all those people combined, and there are more of them than there are people in the rest of the state, which is why New York is stuck with Democratic leadership and Democratic senators like Chucky Schumer. He's about as worthless as, whatever. I'm not even going to say it. It's pointless. The man is out for himself. He's pro-communist. He runs his mouth all the time, threatening Gorsuch and the other Supreme Court justices because they didn't kowtow to his demands. So he's a worthless piece of crap. Not only that, but he's supposed to represent every citizen of New York State. He only represents the Democrats. He doesn't represent Republicans or conservatives or independents in New York State. Never has, never will. Our other senator is like null and void. You don't even hear from her. What's her name? Christian Gildebrand. You don't even hear from her. She's like hiding in the corner, trying to stay low key because she wants to keep that government paid job. So that's what's going on there. Biden is over in the middle, over talking to Europe and talking climate change, which is a foolish endeavor at best because climate changes. In the 60s, they were talking ice age. In the 70s, they're talking acid rain. Then they're talking global warming. They're talking ozone layer. It's like the only thing that happened out of all of those so-called predictions is that our taxes went up so they could suck us dry for more money to pay for these foolish experiments, because these scientists are the ones that are the same ones that predicted the ice age in the 60s are the same ones today. They just want to keep the government paycheck. So it's a waste of time. I mean, think about all the money that this government wastes. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and it's going to be very simple. What have you got to lose? Period. You capture an illegal on the southern border. You put him on a bus, plane, train, whatever. And instead of taking him to a processing center, you ship his ass back to his native country. Or at the very least, to the northern part of South America. And you tell him, adios. It does not benefit us to process these people. You have tens of thousands of people that have been waiting in line for 10 to 20 years trying to come here legally. But yet this administration is allowing illegals to be here. In 2 years, over 5 million illegals have come here. And the vast majority of them are young, military-age men, not families, not women and children, military-age men. And look what's happened now. 3 bombings in D.C., train derailments, food processing plants being destroyed. Don't tell me that this is all coincidence. This is planned. And this administration, as far as I'm concerned, is supporting the destruction of the United States. Hopefully, people will wake up. Because if a civil war does happen, and I pray that it doesn't, it's going to be bloody. It's going to be epic. And it's also going to destroy this country. Icy out.